understand the timeline fully. We want to understand why, Epstein was unmonitored.
I'm very curious as to why she didn't check on Jeffrey Epstein the night he committed suicide.
Epstein was paying protection payments to personnel in the MCC.
The ghosts of the Jeffrey Epstein scandal are once again circling Washington as lawmakers prepare to reopen one of the most disturbing chapters surrounding Epstein's death inside a New York jail cell. Why was Epstein left unmonitored? Why were required prison checks allegedly skipped? And were the guards really asleep while one of the world's most notorious inmates died alone in his cell? The focus is now falling on Tova Noel, one of the two prison guards on duty the night convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein died in federal custody in August 2019. And this time, members of the House Oversight Committee say they are preparing to ask the questions that have haunted the public for years. The hearing is already fueling fresh conspiracy theories online, especially after the Department of Justice's recent Department of Justice release of additional Epstein-related files reignited scrutiny surrounding the final hours before his death. Virginia Congressman James Walkinshaw made it clear lawmakers are determined to dig deeper into what happened behind prison walls.
I think we're all hoping to understand why Epstein was unmonitored on the night that he died. We want to understand the timeline fully. Obviously, there are questions around the $5,000 deposit she made that was flagged by her bank, and reporting from the Miami Herald that Epstein was paying protection payments to personnel in the MCC. So we'll have questions on all of that.
He added that Epstein's death prevented him from fully accounting for the crimes that he committed and denied survivors the chance to confront him in court. The questions surrounding that night have never disappeared. In fact, they have only grown louder.
Fundamentally, we want to understand why, Epstein was unmonitored. His death allowed him to really avoid fully accounting for the crimes that he committed and denied the survivors their day in court to get the accountability that they deserve. So we want to understand why that happened and how that could have happened.
Federal investigators previously accused Noel and fellow guard Michael Thomas of failing to properly monitor Epstein during their shift. Prosecutors alleged the guards spent time sleeping and browsing the internet instead of conducting mandatory checks inside the high-security facility. Authorities also claimed the pair falsified prison records to create the appearance that routine inmate checks had been completed. Epstein was later found dead in his cell. New York City medical examiner officially ruled the death a suicide. But despite the official ruling, public suspicion never faded. Questions exploded across social media, conspiracy theories spread globally, and critics continued asking how one of the most high-profile prisoners in America could allegedly be left alone and unwatched inside a federal jail. Now, nearly 7 years later, lawmakers appear ready to force those questions back into the spotlight. Virginia Congressman Suhas Subramaniam says Noel will face tough scrutiny during testimony before the committee.
I don't know what to expect, actually. I'm very curious as to why she didn't check on Jeffrey Epstein the night he committed suicide. He didn't have a cellmate at the time either. And so it's really puzzling that in a situation where he's a suicide risk and he doesn't have a cellmate, you wouldn't at least check on him once. And he also, there's a lot of other circumstances around this which have people questioning how he was able to basically avoid consequences by taking his own life.
But lawmakers say this hearing is not only about the past. They also want answers about whether Epstein received special treatment inside the prison system and whether failures inside the jail could happen again. Subramaniam openly questioned why Epstein appeared to be treated differently from other inmates.
I'm gonna ask her a lot about that night, whether she benefited at all from this, financially or otherwise. There's some rumors out here about that. We also want to know, how we're going to prevent this from happening in the future. So it seems like Jeffrey Epstein was treated differently than the other prisoners. And I'm going to want to know why that was. And so we're going to ask her all the hard questions.
The case against Noel and Thomas had previously ended with both guards entering deferred prosecution agreements with the Justice Department. According to federal court filings, neither served prison time as part of the deal. But for many Americans, the unanswered questions never went away. And now, with Congress preparing to reopen the mystery surrounding Epstein's final hours, one of the most explosive scandals tied to powerful elites, prison failures, and conspiracy theories is once again erupting back into public view.